Alrighty, have a little agua while waiting for YouTube to catch up. Alrighty, we are live from Columbus, OH, and this is the Ramsey Show, Aftershow. And we got audio, so we're all good with that. Okay. Coach Steve Money is my name, and we are live from Columbus, OH. This is the Ramsey Show After Show number 512, it looks like today. And it is, what is that? 78 degrees. Wow. On the old Coach Steve Money weather dial there. And of course, I picked today to go long sleeves. Oh well, we're in the denim. You're watching this on youtube.com/coachstevemoney, and for my financial content, you just scroll past the Oak Island playlist. The new episode came out last night. Got the recap right there. What is it? 525 views. That's not bad for less than 24 hours. The Ramsey Show After Show playlist. Not play last. You don't want to play last. You want to play first all the time. Answering your financial questions playlist as well, 137 in those. And the music playlist has 12 Ramsey adjacent songs in there. And so listen to those if you are so inclined. Also, for other programming, starting tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, after I'm done with this. Probably finish up with this about normally about 6:30, 6:45 p.m. Eastern Time. And so around 7 o'clock, probably right at 7 o'clock, I will start doing The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered playthrough. Comes out on PC tomorrow. And so I will be doing that. And probably mostly at night. And I don't know if I'll be able to get it done before the show season 2 starts. I believe that'll be in 10 days from tomorrow, on the 13th, I think is when that happens. So might not be able to get done by then, but I'll keep playing it until I'm done. Back to the finances. Financial matters. Market report. Hey, look at that. Somehow the market's up even when tariffs are still a thing. Supposedly that was the reason the market went way down yesterday. And tariffs still happening, right? Right? I don't see there's nothing up here that says, let's check the news. Oh yeah, Musk leaving soon. Maybe that made people happy. I don't know. Private sector added 155,000 jobs in March, above expectations. But I don't see anything else. There's no story up here to explain the market today, as there usually is. Let me refresh it and see if there is one. Yeah, there we go. Let's see why, if it can guess why. Because people overreacted. Yeah, closes more than 200 points higher ahead of Trump's tariff rollouts. And we read that before you got me on having the ad blocker. So I win, because that's all the information I needed to know. And so yesterday, it caused the market to go down. It's a big deal, and the same thing is going to happen. Nothing changed from yesterday, and now it's back up. So again, overreacting, and that's just what the market does, and that's why you don't sell. You don't react to the overreacting, because as I like to show, if we look at the max here, you can see it's always going up, always going up, always going up. And so you don't base it on just this little bit of time when it goes down, or this little bit of time from there to there where it went down. this little bit of time from there to there where it went down. Now, when the pandy crash was happening, and you look at it like in a month period, you see that is much more troubling. And so you don't look at it like that, or even 1 year, or even 5 years. Uh, Generally, unless you start old, as an old investing, it's a 30-year process or more. And so it's going to be up. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Oh, let's see. What else can we talk about? Oh, we want to see what the rest of the planet did, of course. Let's go back. Oh, go there. And then let's see what the rest of the planet did. Mostly down in Europe. Mostly up in Asia. US dollar, down to the euro, down to the yen, down to the British pound, love, down to the Canadian dollar, sorry, I'm sure they're sorry about that. But the US dollar is up above the Australian dollar, mate. That's a NAR from the Estados Unidos. JP Morgan on the 11th, so no earnings coming soon, I guess. And looks mixed in the top 6 stocks, most followed on Google stocks. Who do we have down? Just barely down, 0.02% is the Alphabet, which owns the Google, and of course this fine platform that I'm broadcasting to you on now it's this new thing called YouTube. All the kids love it. And 0.01% down for Microsoft. So that's, you can't complain about that. And Tesla up 5.33%. And that may be because of that report of Musk leaving or not doing as much with the government and maybe going back to work at Tesla, perhaps. So that might be the reason on that. And why is it say follow right there? There, I made it go away. Anything else do we need from market report? No, I think that's it. But let's talk about from Yahoo Finance. It says forget 60-40. BlackRock's Larry Fink wants investors to embrace 50-30-20. And I didn't know what that was. I knew that was whatever you're invested in. So you're invested in 60 of some asset and then 40 of another one. And so let's find out what that is. Traditional 60-40 split between stocks and bonds. Mr. Ramsey is no bonds because by doing that, you're leaving money on the table. You're too conservative by doing that. Single stocks, you're too risky and you're too conservative by doing bonds. And if you put them together, you are less overall than if you do manage mutual funds that beat the index. So Mr. Ramsey would not approve of this or the 50-30-20, which is stocks, bonds, and private assets like real estate. Well, you don't invest in real estate unless you buy it in cash all yourself. Infrastructure, I don't know how you would do that. Private credit, that would be a no in Ramsey land, in Ramsey world. That would be, I guess, Ramsey land would be in California, and Ramsey World would be in Florida, I suppose. So I don't know about that. Let me see if it says something about infrastructure, how you can invest in that. Does that mean like startup businesses or something like that? Like if you talk about infrastructure in a city, that's like the roads and stuff that allows things to get done. If that's like some other kind of debt product to facilitate businesses starting, then that's also a no. Let's see. Generations of investors have done well following this, the 60-40 approach. They've left money on the table, by my math. But as the global financial system continues to evolve, the classic 60-40 portfolio may no longer fully represent true diversification, and it still doesn't. It still doesn't. Because with single stocks, unless you have so many different ones, that you have to buy individually, which I would imagine most people would not do that. That's why you do the mutual funds, so you have that diversification. So, I mean, my boy definitely got more money than me, but also he may have more debt than me, which if he has a penny in debt, he has more than me as well. Let's get to some questions. X that video. I don't need a video to play. Actually, let's go ahead and get rid of that. There we go. And let's get to questions. Reddit.com/r/Dave Ramsey. Oh, Marshall was talking to me and I wasn't listening. I'm going to set up my studio differently tomorrow, and so I will have, instead of having to turn all the way this way to see the chat, I'll be able to look continuously right here at the content that I'm presenting. Like, I'm going to read the question now right there, the wife and phone use, and then just this much further over, I will be able to see all of the chat, and so I won't have to look, and so I'll see definitely faster when somebody is doing that. Let's see what Marsh has to say. How I can buy GBP or sterling when the US dollar is higher than GBP. Not for investing, but to spend when I am in Scotland. You can exchange there at a bank, or if you want to do it here, you can do that at a bank. You call your bank first and ask them how much British pound notes they have, how many bloody quid they have, or euros, or whatever it is you need. Is it okay to move from bonds to more aggressive market if you're in your 80s like my mom? At that point, that's when you wanna seriously consider staying less aggressive. So probably not on that. It just depends on the risk tolerance. Like, if that's the only money, and if you only make what the bonds will make, if that's enough to take her through the rest of retirement, then there's no need to change that. Let's see. Hope that Dewey would stop by here. I think he would benefit from Ken Coleman's book. Yes, he would. I saw that. I even wanted to gift it to him. Oh, that was sweet. That was sweet. Marshall. Bank won't let me get pounds or euros. Yeah, and the problem, I mean, you can call other banks as well to see if they will exchange some foreign currency for you. You'd probably have a harder time exchanging foreign currency for US dollars than you giving them US dollars for foreign currency. I would think that would be easier, but sometimes banks don't like to play nice like that unless you have an account there. So I would check on that. As far as any other way to do that, yeah, I don't know. That's going to be something that I don't know. They didn't teach me that in Ramsey school. So let's see, only 15K in money market account and half is in bonds. Our person told me it's safer due to her age. It is. He right. Now the problem is going to be if that 15K, that's going to take her the rest of her life, unless she has other income. That 15K plus, what that 15K is making per year, which on a money market, I don't know what it would be. Oh, half of it's in bonds. I got you. Okay. Whatever that makes, plus maybe Social Security or any other payments she's getting per month, if that's enough to live on, then probably you don't need to do anything. And even if it's not enough to live on, it's when you're out of time, you're out of time, and you can't play the odds like that. Like, I plan on living. Somebody was talking about living till 90. I think Dave was took a call from somebody, and they were talking about, I think for long-term care they were talking about, and so they might live till 90. And I was like, yeah, I won't do that. There's no way I've been taking good enough care. of myself to make it till 90, but we'll see. At the end, oh my goodness, Val Kilmer at he kind of let himself go though, but I think, uh, rest in peace, 65 years old. So, um, yeah, I mean, and that's far too close to my age for me to be comfortable with to think about like that. But 90, I don't know that I'm going to make it there. But, or even maybe 80 for me. But, so probably being 80, probably just keeping it right where it is, with the bonds and just a money market account. That's probably the best thing to do, unfortunately, because you do run out of time to be doing things in the market and being more aggressive. And you won't believe this. Yesterday we did, should I take out a loan to buy a car? And you should know that within 10 minutes of being familiar with Dave Ramsey. It should come out where it's no loans, but people are like, oh, but my little situation is different. I'm the exception. No, you're not. That's a nar on that. Let's see what wife and phone use is all about. Men's, am I right? My goodness. Mind invested. Maybe it's just unfortunate titling of it, but we'll see what the problem is. So my wife and I, both 35, had a great relationship. Still do. Okay, then you don't need to say had. You can say we have one. Own a home together. Have a 1.5-year-old, and my wife is currently 7.5 months pregnant with our second. Well, that's great that you still have a great relationship. Let her use the phone. Let's see what this phone use is about. I can't help but to notice and also feel what our relationship pretty much has turned into, and hopefully I'm just overthinking and need to understand how pregnant she is. Yeah, you do need to allow for that. That affects hormones for sure. So that can affect people's mindsets and their behavior and so forth. Okay, but you just quit being dumb. Had a great relationship first, says that first, and then said still do, but then said what it's turning into. And so make up your freaking mind, dude. But we both work. She gets home about an hour before me. I get home what seems daily now, and she's in bed scrolling on the phone. I take the little one in the basement to play. My wife comes down but lays on the couch and scrolls. We eat. She rarely cooks anymore, but that's understandable. While we are eating, she watches Judge Judy on TikTok. After that, it's either living room, couch, phone, or TV, or bedroom. Couch, phone, and TV. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. I thought it was just like talking on it, or just like, scrolling sometimes. But I mean, if she's constantly doing it, yeah, that seems like addiction. And it may be related to the pregnancy. I don't know. If she didn't previously do that, or do that in the last pregnancy, it could be something that's going on right now. So, you know what the best thing to do would be? Here's an idea. Instead of asking Reddit about it, why don't you talk to her about it? How about that? Wouldn't that be great? Let's see. Is she that exhausted from pregnancy? Ask her. We don't know. You would know better than we would. You're the one that sees her. Does she act exhausted? Is it her phone? Is it her phone entertains her more than me? That could be, because you don't sound like you're a prize at the moment. Or even worse, more than our amazing little girl. Yeah, that's, I don't know how much attention she's showing the little girl. From what you're describing, it seems like it's come off a little bit. So I don't know. I've hashtag mentioned it a few times, but clearly get nowhere. Any thoughts? You're going to have to mention it a lot more. You're going to have to bring it up. I mean, if you don't think it's just the pregnancy, or if you don't want to just accept that it's during the pregnancy and it might get better, you can wait, but it's better to talk about this stuff. So what you do is do a little thing called communicate and compromise. And if you can't do those, it's time for counseling. Might be time for counseling anyway, regardless. So, but who knows? I have no idea why she's doing that. And, did that slowly build up? Has it been building up even before she got pregnant this last time? You would know better than us. So, I mean, why ask on Reddit? Why not talk to the person? The only other person that can fix it is her, not anybody on Reddit, not even Coach Steve Money. I don't have I'm not certified in human behavior. I mean, human behavior constantly surprises me. I know people are going to be nutty, but the different things that they do that are nutty, um, do that. Marshall. Yep, 7.5 months pregnant. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, wasn't even thinking about that. Yeah, that's almost there. That's a home stretch. One thing to do before new baby gets there, take a mini vacay and take family pics with mommy's belly bump. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Unless you're in baby step 2 or 3, then that's a nar. Yeah. Yeah, Marshall, people don't people don't know about this show. I try not to just I mention it every so often in the Ramsey show chat, but I try not to do an ad for it every day. I feel like for me that wouldn't be appreciated. And so unless people are looking at it, which I think the views have picked up, and so I think people are, since Dave stopped being on YouTube starting at 5:25, basically 35 minutes earlier, early than it used to be. People are still looking for the show then, and so I might pop up on their search because I'm live. So, but otherwise, not everybody knows. And I think many people that are on there, they might come by and say hi, at least come check it out. But I don't think that's the right thing to do, to promote myself too much on extended warranty. OMG, not making this up. Try it for yourself. No, thank you. Went to the local national chain auto parts store. Okay, to buy windshield wipers for my truck. No way. Checking, the clerk asked me if I wanted to add on the extended warranty for $5.99 per wiper. Yeah, that would be a nar. Dave doesn't get the extended warranty on anything. And people have lied before saying that somebody told Dave Ramsey that you should get the extended warranty because Dave Ramsey gets it on everything he buys here. And that was a nar. Baby step 6 from Ray. Come in, Ray 725. Baby step 6 question. Baby step 5. Flair here, so thinking ahead. But actually 4, 5, and 6 you do all at the same time. What percentage of your guys' gross income do you guys set aside for college per child? I think I did this one. The questions switch up sometimes from one day to the other. It'll stay the same like the 4 days ago, but it'll switch up in the order they're in for some reason. But you can prioritize the house if they are still toddlers, or especially if there are no children yet, you do not do step 5 unless there is a child that exists that has been born. You do not do that yet. You wait until the child is born to do that. And the younger they are, the less you have to put aside per month, and you can prioritize paying off the mortgage. Because then if you get the mortgage paid off by the time they go to college, then you have that mortgage payment to help cash flow any expenses. And you can, of course, save up that mortgage payment as well for that. So it's not a thing as a percentage of a guy's gross of the guy's gross income, because guess what? If you make a lot more money than somebody and your kids are going to the same school and it's going to cost the same money, guess what? They have to have a higher percentage of their income if they don't make as much as you. So, go back to math class, I guess. This is a math thing. So, and you're asking a math question, what percentage of this? It's dumb. Because it doesn't matter what other people's are. It only matters what yours is. And it should be, you can back into it. You can say, okay, when the kid's 18, I want to have X amount to go to college. And you can take a look at what college costs now. Do an in-state school will be cheaper than an out-of-state school, and don't do private college either. And so you figure out what it is now, and then you can add inflation for however many years it is until they're 18, and say, okay, I need this much, and then you can back it down, dividing it by the number of months, and you can even include the investment portion of that as well. All that will work out in the math, and you can come out with your specific number, what you need to be putting in monthly. And you can do that, but again, you can also take a few years off of that and prioritize the mortgage if you can get the mortgage paid off really fast. Let's see. Checkpoint 404. 5-year CD is about to hit the mark. What should I do? I had $350K in a CD before I meet my wife. Happened in the past. Meet is currently. And I'm curious what I should do with the money. Well, you would apply it to any baby step you have. You should not be saving that above your full emergency fund while you're still on the baby steps. Until you're on baby step 7, you don't have extra investments like this. That's a NAR from Mr. Ramsey. I've thought about doing another CD. People love the CDs for some reason. Dave does not recommend. Why not go high yield savings account? And then there's no 5-year locked crap where if you need the money, then you have to pay a penalty. But I've also been floating the idea to buy a house cash and rent it out. You can do that as well if there's that much in it. $350K, yeah. What are your thoughts? If you want to be a landlord, you can do that, but of course you do have to have your residence paid off then. You have to be on step 7 to do that. Would it be bad use of funds? If you want to be a landlord, you can try it. It doesn't work out for everybody. I don't owe anything left on a current property, and I'm not planning on leaving anytime soon. Great. So I'm assuming you don't have any debt at all. If you had any debt at all, you would have to clean that up first. I would assume you do have a full emergency fund. And so I assume you're, investing the 15%. So you have to be doing that already. And so, so you can do this if you want to. And this is the way you do that to start a business. You have the cash to do it. And oh my goodness gracious me, it'll be a darn shame if it doesn't work out for you. But on property, it's not that bad, because at worst, you think you'd be able to break even unless you end up having to replace a roof and also then sell it right after that because you're not making any money on it or for whatever reason. So if it doesn't work out. But it won't be that bad as if you took out a loan to start the business and lose the money. It's better to lose cash you save. I mean, it's still sad as all get out. And that's why you got to think long and hard about trying to be a landlord. And that's also why anybody that's moving just shouldn't automatically say, that's freaking financial bro advice, TikTok advice. Oh, are you moving somewhere? Oh, keep your other house and be a landlord. No, it's not for everybody. And I would say it's not for most people. Let's see what Marshall is up to. Marshall has a whole bunch to say. Should have just had her on the show today. Marshall showed cars as a second job in her 20s. We salespeople really hated the warranty people, as that also took a chunk out of commission. Oh no, yeah, I didn't think about that. That sucks. Raphael, who is handcuffing you here? Well, I have blocked him, so must be a troll. Just trying to think about things to chat about. Yeah, that's always good. It's always good to interact. Marshall. But yeah, Raphael, and that's fine. I mean, I think it's just obsession with these trolls that just they insist on engaging me and being on my channel. Even after I blocked them, if somebody blocked me, I would think, oh, well, they don't want me there anymore. But also, I wouldn't get blocked anyway because I wouldn't go on the channel and be a freaking troll, or on a Ramsey show and be a troll on there. I wouldn't do that either. I don't go on, for example, the debt leverage, other people's financial advice shows, and belittle their advice and such. I don't do that. I don't go on there at all. I go on channels that I'm interested in. Maybe I'll have you on one day, Marshall, and we could talk about stuff. Inheritance question. Carolyn 98. Inheritance question. My friend has a dilemma. Oh, it's a long one. Let's see. Not that bad. Not that long. Has a dilemma. His grandfather passed away 11 years ago without a will. He had been staying with her before she died. The friend stayed with his grandmother that passed before she died. Okay, I got it now. It confused me for a second. Upon her death, he continued living in the house, pay the mortgage, $200 per month. Yeah, unfortunately, if his name is not on the deed, if his name's not on the mortgage, he doesn't get credit for that. Mortgage only $200 a month. That's some mortgage. That kind of payment is approved. At this point, since his uncle passed away and the house still hasn't been sold, it now officially belongs to his mom and 4 of his cousins. Okay, and this is what is dumb as crap. And Dave talks about this all the time. Equally split. Yeah. So you don't do that. You don't say, okay, well, we'll leave the house between mom and 4 cousins. So this person that's living there is not even involved with that. So you don't do that. You say, okay, well, it's just one house, so that there's no problem. What we're going to do is sell it after I die, and then we'll split the money between all the inheritors. Inheritees, inheritor. I think inheritors. Maybe both work. So let's see. 3 of these cousins recently hired a lawyer and are asking that the house be sold. Right. This person has no claim to it. He is mad. Tough crap. Should know better. He thinks they should give him the home since he's been living there so long. That doesn't make any difference. People are so nutty. The grandfather was nutty, or the uncle, or whoever didn't have a will, and whoever is, however they set it up so that it belongs. Apparently his mom and 4 of his cousins were on the deed or something, or were on a will or something, or probate decided that they were going to get it. So, this person was not on it. So it doesn't matter what people think people should do. That does not matter in this case. This is a law thing here. And so it doesn't matter what people should do. And understand, it'd be a great world if everybody lived by what people think people should do. The problem is sometimes people disagree, though, on what people should do. But you can't just like live your life and say, oh, well, yeah, they should give him to it since he's been living there and he's been paying it. No, that's not how it works. Just because you think something doesn't mean anything. It doesn't matter if you think that or not. This is a law thing here. So you got to be in the right frame of mind here. This is a law thing, not a morality thing. Morality doesn't have anything to do with it. Your opinion doesn't have anything to do with it. He believes if he asks for this, the judge will force them to give him the home. No way. Not if he's on. No. Mm-mm. I mean, the only thing I can think of, if they have some kind of, in his particular state, if they have something like a, not a squatter's right, something like that, occupier right, something like that, he might get something out of it, but probably won't be able to stay there. He might get a little bit of the money from it being sold or something like that. Or they might say he's owed the money that he paid in rent back, maybe. Or in the mortgage, he's owed that back. I think he's being unreasonable. He's not being realistic. He's not grasping the reality of the situation. Again, you can't live your life on what you think should happen. That's not how the world works. I can't imagine a judge demanding the rightful owners of a home give it to someone else who basically renting from them. No, they wouldn't. He would not. Yeah, they would not give him the home. If he does not own it at all, if he doesn't have a share of it, and it's his mom and 4 of his cousins, and he was left out for some reason, I mean, that's whoever left him out decision, whether it was a decision on purpose or a decision just by not being intentional with his money. And that's also being intentional, deciding where it's going to go. And that's why everybody needs to have a will. Dave recommends Mama Bear legal forms for simple wills. And so, yeah, he's being unreasonable. He's not living in reality. I can't imagine. Oh, I already said that. To give it to them, basically renting from them. Not really. He's paying. He is paying the mortgage. So, again, it depends on the state how much they put into the fact that he's living there and has been allowed to live there, and also he's paying the mortgage for it. What do y'all think will happen in this scenario when they go to court? Again, depends on the state laws. The state laws are everything on this. And so he will not get the house. I don't see any way that happens. Now they could sell it to him and let him pay for $200 per month, maybe. I don't know how the mortgage got down to $200 a month. Maybe that's just a home equity line of credit that he's paying off at this point. I don't know. See, all of this depends. All of this depends. And yeah, and nobody owns the house except the bank unless it's I mean, yeah, the bank owns it. If there's a mortgage on it, whether it's even if it's a line of credit, the bank has first refusal on that. So they got first dibs on that, man. So yeah, I don't know, but I would think he wouldn't be getting it. And so, people are nutty. They don't let reality change the way that they think about stuff for some reason. I don't think there's more to this. I think they're fooling me because he's got 4 or 5 ellipses there, periods there. Oh, let's see. Sorry, didn't share more vids about the cruise. Couldn't video the shows they had on the cruise. Okay, I understand. No problem. The mom can buy out the cousins, but the friend cannot just get the house. That's correct. He can buy them all out too, but I feel like for me, he doesn't have that kind of money. He might ask for a fee for taking care of a home in the yard. That's true. And also, hey, maybe give me the amount of mortgage that I paid back there. Yeah. He'll spend his grandma's name if he wasn't on the loan, right? And the thing is, they don't care where the money comes from. Like, and I mean, I wonder if he even still has control of her account, her like accounts there. Maybe he was just logging into using her login and just like transferring the money out of her bank account. Maybe, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Somehow they were allowing him to pay it for however reason. Budget a little tight with 15% retirement. This is the sentiment analyst. Okay, well, analyze this. Baby step 7, just curious, with inflation, do you guys have trouble with take-home savings? Between tithing, daycare cost, food, my take-home is about $4K. At least 15% goes to retirement, ... Yeah, if it's a little tight, hey, guess what? Maybe you spend too much money on stuff. Tithing, if you're a Christian, you do that, so that's not an option. Daycare, that probably not an option either if you want both parents to work. If there are two parents, don't know. He didn't give the information. Maybe you're spending too much money on food. That could happen as well. Maybe there's other things you can cut out. Otherwise, you're just not making enough money. If you're you said baby step 7, so that means no mortgage. So what the heck are you spending money on, dog? Got to be something you're spending money on other than tithing, daycare, and food. All right, that's got to be even. There's got to be more stuff. So. And don't know exactly. This would be. Oh yeah, I opened it. I guess I can check how many. 49 comments. All right, we'll go through a little of them to see if we. Do you save the beyond emergency funds? No. Yeah, you're not supposed to save. You have the emergency fund and you do 15% to retirement. There's no other savings. The only time you would have other savings is after you have the full emergency fund, right? That should have stayed in place since step 3. And then you are also doing the 15%, and then you don't save anything else. You have to do the 15%. Christian, you would do the tithing as well, but you don't have other savings than that. Why do you want other savings than that? Maybe sometimes you forgot those one-time bills like property taxes or insurance. Don't do that. Don't be dumb and forget payments like that. Be intentional with your money. It doesn't matter if you're on baby step 7. You always have to have a budget. Do a budget. You don't ever have to stop being intentional with money. I would say on step 7, you have to be even more intentional because you have more wiggle room, and so you do more stuff, and that's why you're in this boat to begin with. But I would ask how if you had a mortgage payment, where's the mortgage payment going now? So plenty of questions for this person. Let's see. His favorite answer by far. Doesn't say anything. You'd already funded retirement? No, it doesn't. Nope. Step 4, 15% into investing for retirement is forever. If you don't need that 15% to live on in retirement, then you can keep investing even after you're retired. It doesn't sound like they are retired. This person is retired just in baby step 7. I'm done with baby step 6, but I am even having trouble with 15% retirement. How is that possible if you were previously paying a mortgage? So what has increased in spending there? I'm not understanding what the problem is. Let's see. Come on. Looking for the OP. There it is. 1K daycare, 1K food and groceries. How many people? He didn't say how many people for the 1K food and groceries. Food and groceries is the same thing. If you're eating out, stop eating out if you can't afford to do the 15%. You're doing it wrong. and check the 1K of bills that you have going out in addition to the daycare and food and groceries. So check that. Yeah, let's see. Living in Indiana. Yep. Hashtag Midwest. Fairly cheap. 1K food for 3 people a month. That's $333 per month. Yeah, you don't need to have that. You don't need to spend that much on food. You don't need to. So that's part of it that's getting away. So I mean, you could go down to $50 per person per week, and that would be what, $200? $200 per person if you did $50 a week per person. So that equals $200 per month per person. So that would be $600. That would save you $400 a month. So buying the expensive food. So that's some of it. That's not all of it, but that's $400. $400 is $400. So post doesn't have anything to do with emergency fund. Yeah, he just wants to save, because he says saving. He says retirement and saving separately. So I think those are 2 different things. He's trying to save a little bit. In addition to the investing, which you're not supposed to. That money's supposed to go to investing. Not sure why I got a thumbs down, but I feel like for me, everyone is making a lot take home. Even on 100K a year, I am struggling with extra savings. You're not supposed to do extra savings. You're supposed to do the investing for retirement so you can live nicely in retirement. You're not supposed to have extra savings. No, 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 no. It doesn't say anywhere to do extra savings other than the emergency fund. Doesn't say that anywhere in the baby steps for that. So let's see. I don't know how everyone is able to do that. Sometimes there are these one-time payments like insurance, property taxes, and car maintenance. Again, you budget that. Like as soon as you know you need maintenance, you put that in the budget. And hey, guess what? Taxes are due at the same time every year. Insurance due at the same time every year. Quit being dumb. I mean, you got to step 7. That's fabulous. But in order to do that, you would have had to have half a brain, so use it to continue doing a budget. And it may be that he's one of these people that think, okay, I don't have a budget, or maybe he made enough previously where he made it work and he didn't do a budget. But now it's just, because maybe daycare is fairly new expense happening there, and lifestyle creep, blah, 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 blah. Also wonder if the cousins have a right to the house. Well, I mean, I would think it's an equal share between what lady did they say it was? His mom and his cousins? I can't remember what lady it was. But some lady involved, some lady family member, and his 4 cousins. 4 cousins being specifically named that own the house, and he doesn't. He must have done something wrong there to be left out of that. Unless there's 20 cousins and he just didn't make the cut. And there was a bunch of other ones as well. 1K in food and groceries, right? 1K in tithe, maybe you bring up 10K per month. Yeah, he said 100K a month. Yeah, where's the other 6K going? Yeah. I think his math is all over the place. He said he makes 100K a year. Yeah, like I said, just not being intentional, probably not doing a budget. So, and also the mysterious savings that he thinks he needs to have, that's not one of the steps. That's not one of the things. So it's fine to have when you're in baby step 7, but not if you can't continue to invest unless you are retired. Then you just keep that money and live on it, and you can put it in savings or in something, once you retire, something really just like a high yield savings account or even bonds. I would think high yield saving account might make more, but yeah. Fantastic Dot 4143, mentality around expenses. Well, that's the real trick, isn't it? People of Reddit who follow Ramsey, thank you for addressing us in that, lumping us all together. How do you get over the mental hurdle of spending money on yourself? You mean to do it after you've been so gazelle on baby step 1, 2, and 3? You mean that, or do you mean to not spend money on yourself in baby steps 1, 2, and 3? Let's see. For context, we are on baby step 3 and very close to our goal. All right. You're thinking about it too early because it's not time to spend money on yourself yet. You got to get step 3 done first. And then after that, step 4, you invest the 15% before you even think out of every paycheck, before you even think about spending that. I had been putting money away in an envelope for new work boots. Mine are beat and 6 years old. Okay, so that's great. Sinking fund for that. That's fine. The check engine light came on in my car and needed a sensor. Okay, you know what? Having a sensor, depending on what it is, the sensor, I've had the tire sensor going off or like light on since I bought the car. The guy told me in advance about it, and it's not that the thing is flat, it's just the sensor's bad. And so do I need that to go from place to place? No, I don't. So, but the check engine light, that coming on, and that light can come on too without it being a problem that is bad for the car. So it just depends on why that is. What sensor? Like you do want the sensor on the, I guess, the temperature, the emissions, all that stuff. You do need those sensors. So you would have to do that. We pay cash for it, but need a little bit more than was in our vehicle repair fund. Oh, so you had one. Great. So I drained the boot envelope. Okay. Well, if it was an emergency, you could take it out of the emergency fund. If that's like your only car, you might consider that an emergency. And so you could do that instead of draining the boot envelope. But also, guess what? If you've been using it, if they're 6 years old, and they're beat up, can you be without it for a little while longer? So now that you have drained that, and now you're done with that, and when you get done with baby step 3, then you would just redo that, or just cash flow buying new boots. We didn't consider either one an emergency expense worthy bill. Okay, well, okay, that's up to you then. So that would be when you would say, I can wait on boots. Do you ever say you're doing great, it's okay to get a little less in savings this month because your feet are worth it? No, not until you get baby step 3 full. No. No. I mean, if they got holes in them, that's a different thing, other than just, oh, they're beat up. And especially if it's a cosmetic thing, like, oh, I don't like the way they look. You're waiting until you're done with step 3, and then you just put it in your budget. Or do the saving fund like you were doing. And so guess what? Hey, here's the deal. Here's the deal, man. If you can drain the boot envelope to get that done, then guess what? If it was an emergency, just like you said, right? And so that means you don't do it until you get the full emergency fund done. So you're thinking about it wrong. Insert whatever other personal care item. Right. I guess this is really more of a mentality question. Yeah. And you're thinking about it wrong, because the most important thing here is baby step 3 here. You said there's no emergency, so that's not the most important thing. The car wasn't the most important thing, but you still used money that you had saved for the boots to finish paying for it. And you also had a vehicle repair fund. And that shouldn't be that big either until you get baby step 3 done. So you need to prioritize baby step 3 here. And so that is the mentality problem that you're having. So I would say it's less about of a mentality around expenses, but it's a mentality about not getting the freaking baby steps done up to step 3. And then in step 3, you get to chill out a little bit. Not almost done with step 3. It's when you get done with step 3. Is when you get to chill. Yo, yo, yo. Promoted. It's an ad. I think it said the grandma had no will, so it should go to the only surviving child, not the cousins of the son who did not survive. Well, the problem is, again, what it should do doesn't mean anything. If they say they had no will, that's fine. But if is the grandma who was on it, who had said it owned it? No, there was some other, his aunt maybe. His aunt, who is maybe the mom of his 4 cousins, maybe. If they have their names on the mortgage and on the deed, then it goes to them. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he's the only surviving child or not. Whoever's name is on it would likely not go to them. No, their name would have to be on there unless he's totally misrepresenting the situation, and by just saying it belongs to them, that means they just want it or something like that, or they're not gonna go along with giving it to me. So who knows what that person was thinking. Some of the way people phrase things and the way people think, sometimes I just don't get at all. Let's do one more here. Centauri Z1, how to help my mother get on track. Okay, well, first you got to help yourself get on track. And now, it's fine for you to get yourself on track, and also help her understand how to do it herself. You can do any kind of that, but her before you get step 3 done, you should not be giving any money to her to get her life better. The too long didn't read is first. My mother, 46 years old now, is in a very bad path, and I'm the only one that sees it, I think. Okay? And yeah, that's the problem. You start doing smart things and following the Ramsey advice, then you see how everybody else is dumb and is in trouble more than they know. Let's see. I'm concerned that in the future, when it all crashes and burns, I'll have to provide for her entirely. No, you won't. No, that's not your fault. And you can even tell her. And people never like to have conversations. They want to avoid any kind of confrontation whatsoever. So no, you don't have to do that. And the best thing to do would be to tell her right now, Mom, I can't do that. I'm trying to get my life going, and so I'm not going to do that. And so for you to be able to take care of yourself, here's what you got to do. She's never asked me for money. Great. But I don't think I can bear leaving her to become destitute. Okay, if you can't, that's on you. That's on you. Guess what? Because you decide to do something that you think is morally correct, or that you would feel bad if you didn't do it, you can't blame that on anyone except yourself. And so let's see, how do I convince her to make better decisions? You might not be able to. Mr. Ramsey says all the time, adults that changed your diapers do not want to hear from you about sex or money ever. And so she may not. You might not be able to convince her. And if you can't, guess what? You tried. That's her fault. And so, but, and you know, I know people like this for sure. For sure. That I can't bear to leave her become destitute, so I have to do it. And then, so what are you going to blame yourself? You have to shoulder all that blame yourself. That's not anybody's fault except your own. It's her fault as well. So blame her and don't help her, because she could be doing something right now. So you have to just spell out, I'm not giving you any money because you're being bad with money now. Because you can tell her what I say all the time, you're doing it wrong. And, you know, you can just play her the clip from, maybe she knows the movie, Mr. Mom. Where is it? There it is.
You're doing it wrong.
Yeah, so... And if you don't want to go from the movie, you can hear it from George Camel himself.
You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong.
Yeah, so that's what you can try there. Where are we at now? Let's see. How to make it. My gut tells me, yeah, I won't be able to help her until she asks for help, and so it's a waste of time. Right? I mean, have you see, a lot of people do this stuff in their minds, and they have all this whole thing in conversation in their mind without ever talking to the other person. And so they're just making up what might happen and worrying about it instead of just talking to her. And then you'll know exactly what you're dealing with. People are nutty. I'm going to start putting $500 per month into her Roth IRA to at least provide some security for her when she's very old. That's nice of you to do. If you're not in at least baby step 4 yourself, you don't take care of anybody else's baby step 4. So that's a NAR on that. It would be the advice. I can afford $500 per month. Okay, great. And that means that you have your investing done as well. And that means you don't have any debt, and you also have your full emergency room. Her situation, she lives in a luxury 3-bedroom apartment in the sky. Moving on up, that costs $2,800 a month in rent as a dog and a cat. Boom, 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 boom. Dog and a cat, and lives with my sister who does not work because she's in school. Yep. So we got 2. You know, that situation doesn't work either, because guess what? Maybe she doesn't have any money because she's floating the sister in school. My mother does not want my sister to work and wants her to focus on school. You focus on school, baby. I'll spend your money on that instead of spending my money on retirement. And then my other kid will think she has to support me in retirement because I didn't do it. So, and again, this is all the person that wrote this. This is all your fault because you haven't talked to these people. You can talk to the sister and you can talk to your mom. Tell them exactly what's going on and exactly what's going to happen. You know, if your mom doesn't have enough from retirement. No skills, no concept of budgeting or controlling spending, and overall makes very poor decisions. Right? You can just tell her you got to stop the spending. You know, and then say, I'm not going to bail you out and it won't be your fault. And you just have to be woman enough to not have your feelings say, oh, the poor lady. She had a chance. You tried to tell her she had a chance. She has about 80K saved up and is living off that until she finds a job. Oh, so she's not even working. Yeah. She does not want to move out and drives a luxury electric car. Of course, she leased. Yeah. So she's doing it all wrong. So you gotta basically break away from that mom. If she won't try to make her life better, then it's not up to you to make her do that. And it's not up to you to bail her out either. She's cleaned houses all her life as a single mother and used her attractiveness to get men to support her for her looks. But her looks are running out. Yeah, Yeah, we're all on borrowed time for that. A wealthy man is how she got the apartment and car, but the man who provided those has left, right? And so she's leasing it though, and maybe he co-signed for it or something. Who knows how that happened? You know, my name is Paul, and that's between y'all on that. And so what you want doesn't matter. What you want doesn't matter as far as her finances are concerned. She has to want it. If just you want it, it's not going to happen. I want her to move out of that apartment into a smaller one. That's great advice. Sell the car. That's great advice. And get an entry-level job to get some income going. McDonald's, Walmart, anything really. That's great advice. And so you don't tell Reddit that. You tell her that. Along with that, I'd very much like her to learn a skill or go to school. Okay, now I would say just get a job. Start there, and then after that, then you can nitpick about learning a skill or go to school to increase our income potential and our ability. Problem is that learning the skill may not cost as much, but also, and going to school costs money. And she already spends too much of that. So you don't want to do that. You want to prioritize getting a job and doing the baby steps. And her ability to be self-sufficient. I know she's capable of working and studying at the same time, but the sister isn't apparently. She re-raised me. All right, probably just raised me and my sister alone. I'm willing to pay $100K for all her training, schooling. No, don't do. Why would you do that? Because you don't know if that's going to bring return on investment. That's too much to invest on her. She hasn't proven the ability to be worthy of that. I don't know if what I want is reasonable. It's not. Or how to bring up my concerns with her. You just tell her exactly what you typed here. If your relatives and even friends as well, if your relatives can't handle the truth and they're going to end the relationship or it's going to cause a problem with the relationship, then you don't need a relationship with such a person. Because I wouldn't have a relationship with a person, and I've ended relationships with a person where it required me to be dumb in order to continue being friends with them, and I wasn't going to do it. And so you can't go by what you want. It only matters what she wants. And if she doesn't want it, then you can't make it happen for her. It's just, it doesn't happen that way. So you need to concentrate on you, and you can try, but you talk to her. Again, people always so afraid of confrontations with people, and that's also why people don't bring up money in relationships. And then all of a sudden, as it is seemingly every day on the Ramsey show, then all of a sudden it's a problem when it's 4 years later and they're about to get married, as the situation was today. How about you bring up money stuff on the first date? How about you do that? Especially if you follow Dave Ramsey's advice. If you do the baby steps. Because if you do Dave Ramsey's advice, you are a weirdo. Everybody else is normal. So that means any potential love interest until proven weird is normal and does everything all wrong financially. And if you really believe the baby steps and Dave's advice is the way to go, then you need to embrace that fact and realize, oh, that's going to be a problem if she's spendy. And it can go like that. Not only that, but in this case, where you're trying to take care of your mother, that's great. You love your mom, or you feel indebted to her, or whatever reason. But people have to want help first. You cannot force them to be better financially. They have to want to do it. And so you can talk to her about it all you want to, and that's the thing. You need to talk to her, but your problem is you're just worrying about it and not talking to her. And that's the first thing you should have done before coming to Reddit. But people are nutty because they can come on Reddit and just vent and stuff, and it doesn't happen. You know, mom probably 46 years old. I mean, I'm 55 and I'm reading the Reddit, but mom 46, maybe she doesn't read the Reddit. And so this is not going to help you at all on here. Maybe 21 comments, maybe other people told her the same thing. Talk to your mom about the situation. Explain that you are worried. Make sure that she knows it's coming from a good place. You're not trying to ruin her fun or ruin her life. You're trying to make sure she can have a comfortable life, all the rest of it. Alrighty. Boom, boom, boom. Marshall was out. Marshall had to go. She was out. I appreciate her being here. It was lovely. And Raphael. And any other trolls who are watching. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting something that you're a troll about. Doesn't make sense to me. Again, I would never go to the debt leverage chats and troll there. I would never do that. Just dumb. Just a waste of time. Find something you like and go to that chat is what I would recommend. But, you know, they certainly help me. And so that's fine. If they want to watch, they can watch. Where was I? Oh, yeah, that's right. I was going to do my plugs. And that's right there. And once again, I am Coach Steve Money. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And so don't need to be told the Ramsey advice, which, you know, granted, baby step 7. A millionaire, I think he said, and he was trying to explain to me the Ramsey advice. And that was fun. I told him there's no need to do that. It's fine. Type whatever he wants. But there was no need to explain the Ramsey advice to me because I'm certified in it. And he apparently has proven that he is familiar with it by getting to step 7. Where are we at? I did not talk in fast enough after I reset the scrolling plugs. Let's do that one more time. If you have money problems, or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, or you just want me to hear me say that you're doing it wrong, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation with me at calendly.com/coachstevemoney. Email me at coachstevemoney@gmail.com about anything about financial or anything on my YouTube channel. Donations can go to paypal.me/coachstevemoney. Alternatively to CashApp $CoachSteveMoney, or a Walmart gift card to coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Upcoming streams this show until further notice. The Ramsey Show Aftershow show will be at 5:25. Actually, it's been 5:27, so if that continues to be the case, I'll start saying 5:27. But normally they had been out by 5:25 on the YouTube. And so as soon as that is over on the YouTube, that's when I start up. And starting tomorrow, one more time, not these people playing Joel and Ellie, but in the video game Last of Us Part 2, the remastered version is coming out on PC, and it will be the first time I played the remastered version. And so I'm going to do that on the online, and I'll be doing that at 7 p.m. I'll be still be doing tomorrow the Ramsey Show Aftershow show at 5:25 p.m. or thereabouts, maybe 5:27 again, somewhere in there. But I'll have it posted. I'll have the show posted already, so you'll already be able to be in the chat early, even if it's not right at 5:25. All right, where was I at? Oh yeah, so and I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna try to get through it before the season 2 of The Last of Us starts, where these people do play Joel and Ellie. And yeah, there'll be lots of show talk and game talk as well. It's my favorite game, Last of Us Part 2, and I have plenty of things to say about it. And hopefully other people will come in the chat and talk about as well, fans of the game and such, because it is very interesting. It's a very compelling story, and so if you have not seen it, highly recommend watching the show. Even if you're an 80-year-old grandma, you can do that, and you're not ever going to pick up a controller and play the video game. It's a fabulous story. Way better story than most TV shows or movies, for sure. So highly recommended. Alrighty, much appreciated to everybody that has watched live here or will watch in the future. Thank you so very much. Please subscribe, like, and comment. And thank you so much if you have done those things before. And as always, make smart financial decisions every day.